my first example is, your bias is you're a helpful assistant, keep your responses very brief. That's my general instruction to the model, this instruct model or chat model, same idea. And my question is, hi, I'm new to Vancouver and I'm looking for some outdoor activities to do this weekend. Any suggestions? And I'm going to ask it, and it's come back with this response: Stanley Park, Grouse Mountain, Lynn Canyon. Came up with an answer, Kit. Now, as to your point, I can say, explain why you said that, why you chose that. And it's going to come up with like, I chose these spots because they're easily accessible, blah, blah. While it is saying that, that's not the reason necessarily why it chose the above answer. It just generated those words, and now because it knows those words are there, it's coming up with an answer that is justification for that. So this is very important, because you can't really ask these models why it chose the answer. You don't have that visibility. There's an entire field called mechanistic interpretability, which is about trying to interrogate these models and actually understand what's going on behind the scenes. Even a lot of people way, way, way smarter than myself, and I don't have math knowledge anyway, don't understand how these things work, and they're trying to figure it out. So to clarify that further, I'll actually do something here, which will be a bit fun. So for example, I'll say, explain why you chose that. But while I do that, I'll actually change the answer that it gave me, because in my demo, I've actually added the ability to change the assistant's answer. So I'll say the assistant actually answered, go watch a movie at Scotiabank, right? And so I'll say, explain why you chose that. Now it believes that it actually answered that. So it'll say, okay, this is actually pretty funny. So actually saying, I made a mistake. I was thinking that, so it's just because, I think it's because I asked for outdoor activities. So it actually is reflecting on the answer along with the context above. Let's actually change that. I say activities, some activities. My bad. It's pretty funny though. Explain why you chose that. So now it's going to say it's a popular spot with great selection of films. So it just came up with the reasoning that made sense with its answer, because it's all post hoc always. It's always taking the previous context into its consideration as it generates more just made up words. So I can again, just keep playing with this demo. It's pretty. But I also wanted to show you this because it should give you a really good sense of why these models are kind of useful, because you're able to bias them towards your own data, towards your own answers. So if you wanted to use internally for systems, for some kind of domain, if you have your own company's data, if you have your own organization's data, you can bias the answers, you can embed the answers towards that kind of a thing. Just one quick thing I wanted to cover here as well is that for those who care, actually, you know what, this is maybe a bit confusing, but just for those who care, the way that these models are still working is still just one long string being sent, and then an answer comes back. And that string that I send it is this thing, actually, this complicated looking thing, where I basically have like the system message, something, something. I have which is the bias. I have the user said, hi, I am new, blah, blah. And then you're supposed to just keep generating more text after the fact. And in fundamentally, it's just like the system says this, the user says this, and assistant says what. That's the fundamental way of doing it. Please, question.